Ladies and gentlemen, the Supreme Court has already overturned a conviction by Jack Smith, the special counsel. So, the Supreme Court unanimously vacated the conviction of ex-Virginia Republican Governor Robert McDonnell. It was an 8-0, almost unanimous. I mean, one justice did not, wasn't a part of it, but it was 8-0 in terms of overturning a conviction by the special counsel, by Jack Smith, when he convicted ex-Virginia Governor Bob McDonnell. Quote, the Supreme Court, however, later essentially rebuked the prosecution, ruling unanimously to vacate McDonnell's conviction, citing the use of an overboard definition of an official act. The same thing has taken place. The same exact thing, ladies and gentlemen, has taken place with Trump and this indictment. Okay? The interesting thing regarding Trump is that they're going after him knowing very well they cannot prove that he deliberately moved these boxes to hide classified data. They used the word classified markings. It wasn't top secret and special access program intelligence. Okay? Top secret and special access program intelligence that was specifically transferred or siphoned from secure government locations, according to the Honorable James Comey, former director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. He detailed the number of classified documents sent to Hillary Clinton's cell phone. It was like 100 email chains and a whole bunch of specific statements. They don't know anything regarding the number of classified documents. And by the way, it's impossible from a cybersecurity perspective, and hit subscribe to this channel right now. Not many people are going to explain, well, it's not difficult. If you have a functioning brain cell, you know it's not possible from a cybersecurity perspective to transfer one piece of classified data, one document, onto a cell phone outside the United States government. It is impossible to do. But Clinton wasn't indicted for 4 years of servers outside the U.S. government that even President Obama didn't know about. So you have a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where you have a big problem with a double standard and equal justice under in this case, justice that is unbalanced, where the rule of law only applies to Trump, and it actually doesn't even apply to Trump. If we're talking about the rule of law, you don't indict a former president after the president was working with the National Archives and the Department of Justice. That is a lie. When they say he wasn't complying, that is a lie. That is not true. He had every right to go through his attorneys, just like Clinton and Biden has a special counsel. They say, well, he's complying. He's going through his attorneys. And the Federal Bureau of Investigation wasn't complying with Congress. Christopher Wray was almost held in contempt of Congress because there's a bribery letter linked to Joe as vice president. So you have a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where it's a very serious issue to level the United States government against one person. I mean, even if you're a morally superior, highly educated liberal Democrat, and you're very gleeful and happy and giddy that Trump is indicted for the second time, do you honestly think that if you indict him 50 or 60 times, anyone will care? Is there a morally superior, highly educated liberal Democrat in the world today, in the United States of America, who truly thinks this is about the rule of law? Trump didn't have servers. It's not about email, but her emails. They always lie by omission or make a serious issue story like felonies linked to Clinton or Hunter or Joe into something it's not. Had nothing with Clinton, that was not ever to do with emails, had nothing to do with private email. That was not what that was about. Okay? I wrote about that in The Hill, the Huffington Post, Salon, the Jerusalem Post, the Federalist, other publications. Go to hagoodman.com. By the way, I do not have a Twitter account. Or a Facebook account. But that was not about private email. It was about servers that stored communication and data from computers that were not connected to the United States government. The U.S. government had no knowledge of what Clinton was doing on those computers or servers, and yet Clinton was able to receive all the information from the U.S. government, including, as Secretary of State, classified data. How on earth, from a cybersecurity perspective, could anyone at the Washington Post or the New York Times or anywhere, even like you see on Twitter, I don't have Twitter, but you can see the profiles, national security expert, cyber security expert against Trump. If you're a cybersecurity expert, if you're a national security expert and you despise Trump and you're a former Central Intelligence, official, or, you worked for a high-level intel agency, how on earth, because we know how you, like a box, you can just go to, Office Depot, get a box, put stuff in. Fine. That's what they got Trump for, which is hilarious, because he had the power to declassify. But how on earth, if you are an expert in cybersecurity, how on earth do you create a network outside of the United States government with servers and computers and cell phones in 2009 through 2012 or so? As Secretary of State, and you siphon and transfer and receive classified data from the U.S. government onto servers that are located outside of the United States government without anyone in the United States able to access Clinton's servers, yet the opposite is true. She's able to access classified data from the U.S. government. How is that even possible? That's exactly what the Honorable James Comey explained. He didn't explain how it happened. He explained that email chains, that special access program, classified data, top secret, managed to make their way through emails on and to her cell phone and to her computers and to her servers. But her servers were not connected to the United States government. So it is impossible from a cybersecurity perspective. Nobody on the planet is going to get an email from the Department of Defense on their phone. It will never happen, except if your name is Clinton. And God forbid you ever do get an email with classified data, you likely will go to jail immediately, even if it's the government's fault. Except if you're Madam Secretary, who I think has to be the 24 nominee. If Hillary Clinton isn't the 2024 nominee, I've lost faith in the Democratic Party and all they stand for, which should tell you what I think they stand for. How do you plunge the country into a new Cold War 30 years after the Berlin Wall fell, and getting Trump indicted for something that he didn't do, but you could say that, oh, well, he was indicted for classified data, and then it was like the Mount Everest of classified data fiascos. But again, the precedent, of course, was Clinton and Hunter summarizing classified data according to Ted Cruz. Nobody makes a mockery of classified data more so than Democrats. They're going after Trump because they're guilty of what they accuse him of. But the point is, the indictment doesn't even have specific allegations. Innuendos, he admitted on tape, so suddenly, Trump has 40,000 lies told, but he always tells the truth when it's convenient for Democrats. He's a liar, except he tells the truth on Access Hollywood and the hot mic and in private conversations when he knows he's being audio taped. Anyway, hit subscribe to this channel right now. The Supreme Court will overturn any conviction, maybe not the indictment, possibly, but the conviction for sure. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe.